Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Minds Beneath Us. Last time we left off, we got an offer from Ivan to join the Moonflowers. Don't know if we'll be doing that or not, but basically it was a way to save me, but I would have to give up Francis, so... we will see how things turn out for dear old Jason here. So, let's go ahead and get back- oh, wait! Wait, no, take elevator. You were sitting down there. I should talk to you. If there's an option. If there's an option to speak with you. Hey, there we go. Ah, hey Jason. Oh, I forgot you don't smoke. Thank you. Bear with me, I'm almost done. The scars. Oh, this? Never told you why I wear a mask all the time. These are souvenirs from Tendril. Still itch when exposed to cold air, hence the mask. Sorry for what happened. Not that bad. Kinda like wearing glasses. Got used to it. Can I help you with something? No, just checking on you. Thanks. What kind of person do you think Nin is? Independent soul? Yeah, an independent soul is kinda true. Yeah, very true. Yeah, I'll say that. You know how I idolize her, I see her as a hero. I'm starting to think maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. How so? She's not what I expected. What did you expect her to be? True hero? Oh, that sounds like child talk. But I seriously mean it. When I first got to know her, she told me that this world will slowly kill itself if nobody's there to make changes. Once you realize this, you're one of the few that the world counts on. If you stay out of it, you're contributing to the world's ultimate demise. That convinced me and decided to follow her to the end of the world. All this time, she's risking her own life to fight injustice. Either through Owl or as herself, she never backs down. But this time it's different. Nin's hesitating, I'm sure of it. I mean, she's human, Lawrence. Think she's protecting Vision? Possible. It's more like, how should I put this? She's holding back from the very start, using excuses like insufficient evidence and such. We had everything necessary to arrest Shane Yan, but she chose not to. We found out Vision's illegal deals, but barely done anything about it. This operation's been taking one detour after another. Are we dancing around something? I don't know. It's as if Nin doesn't really care about stopping Vision. Don't you think so? About what she did? She's maybe a little weird, but nothing out of ordinary. I don't think there's anything wrong with her. She gave an explanation to everything you don't agree with. We had the whole holographic recording. Why didn't she arrest Yan? She told you. Yan is only the tip of the iceberg. We still take a chunk off the iceberg, no? We had more than enough evidence for an arrest. That won't stop Vision. Don't forget our real objective. Then what? Watch the rest of them burn the evidence and flee? Yeah, that won't stop Vision. The murder attempt on Fran was not related to Vision's scheme. Our objective was to save flop contributors from potential harm. I know that, but... what's the problem, if you know that? How would you explain the day? What's wrong with the day? We have evidence that Vision is involved in human trafficking. Why didn't we hand it over to the police? Why rescue those kids? So that Vision will have time to destroy evidence and sever ties? Didn't she say we shouldn't raise any alarm? Because we did have a chance to rescue them. Have a chance? In that case, what about those contributors in the cellar? They were in danger too. We had a chance to save them, why didn't we take any action? Not in immediate danger. It's a process that takes years. We were not certain if they were really in danger. Not in immediate danger. Not immediate? How can you say that? It's cruel. Watching them taking these kids, isn't that cruel? Their priorities, Lawrence? Yeah, I mean, we do have to kind of choose our priorities and what we can do. We're limited in how much we can do, Lawrence. We're not superheroes, and we are up against a corporation with a lot of power. Watching them take those kids, isn't that cruel? She must be planning on the big picture. Okay, let's say you make a good point. Now, Negotiation with Vision? That I absolutely don't agree with. Never. Letting them go can't possibly be right. Do you agree with Nin on that too? Letting them go... Yeah, it sucks. But... if it's like the only possible thing we can do... I mean, you take what you can get, I guess. Like, we're not gonna topple this Titan just... Like we're... Once again, we're not superheroes. And we have to. Not you too. It's a crappy solution, but it's also the least crappy solution in our toolbox. Yeah, it's the least crappy option in our toolbox. What? What about the murder attempt on Miss Ching? Do you just let it slide? Let Yan and Chameleon just keep doing what they do? Of course I want them to pay. And why are you agreeing to let them go? Because there are more lives at stake. I'm not the sole victim. Yeah. Huh. But... I believe this is a matter of faith. For me, I always wanted just to be just or right. And I thought Nin would agree with me. She knows that justice is not enforced by talking or following rules. Sometimes we must get our hands dirty, make sacrifices, and enforce it by force. Yeah, no, that's true. Don't you agree? No, like, sometimes that is required, but does that justify sacrificing victims? Like, just for the sake of revenge and stuff? We have to choose those points where we want to do that. Yeah. This is a difficult conversation to have, especially knowing how Lawrence is feeling right now. Does that justify sacrificing victims? Say, what's your definition of justice? I see what you mean. I kind of agree with the does that justify sacrificing victims. Like, in a lot of media, this is a question that comes up, and I mean, obviously, probably comes up in real life for people too. But the idea of like, yes, you want to push back against this thing, but you're potentially damning some other people by doing it. And you're looking at it from the greater good to that perspective, and I mean, I'm usually someone that wants to try and find a solution that, you know, benefits everyone. Like, you know, the true ending in games, you know? And like, that's something, like, where all sides win. Although I will say, like, the whole focus on true endings in games where you end off and everyone's happy, I usually don't like that too much, because I do like having the weight of actually having to make a decision, because that's more impactful than it just being like, oh, well, if you find the super secret item, you can get the ending where everybody's happy. I kind of don't like that, because then it makes the rest of the choices have, like, less weight. But... Does that justify sacrificing victims? I mean, that's the question. Like, you know, sacrificing victims or leading to more victims in the future. Sometimes, I mean, yes, I do kind of agree. Sometimes, yes, you do have to get your hands dirty. See what you mean. But you still support Nin's plan. Everyone has a different definition, here's mine. Justice means bad people get the punishment they deserve. The source of every bad deed, there's a bad person. Taking out this root is the top priority. Is that wrong? Taking the person out at the root is the top priority. I mean, taking the person out at the root doesn't technically solve the problem. And yeah, in a perfect world, yes, the real world's a bit more complicated. Like, we can't just take the person out at the root and expect to solve the issue. It's like I said, like, cutting the head off the snake or whatever. Like, they will be replaced. This will be around. If we actually want changes, it has to be a systemic change. In a perfect world, yes, the real worlds are more complicated. What's their definition, then? Justice means everyone receives the help they deserve. Justice means leaving a positive influence. Justice is the voice of the people. Justice means everyone receives the help that they deserve. Help? What do you mean? Do you just leave evildoers be? I mean, helping the victims comes before punishing the aggressor. Yeah, I mean, getting the victims in a better spot to where they hopefully won't be victims anymore. Helping the victim comes before punishing the aggressor. How do you help the victim without stopping the aggressor first? Just let the aggressor do their thing without pricing a price? What if by punishing the aggressor you damage the victim again? Yes, if they are not further damaging the victim. No, I don't agree with that. Punishing the aggressor is secondary but still part of the plan. I mean, I do kind of agree with this, most out of these three options. Like, looking after the victim is important. Should the person that the aggressor get their just desserts? Absolutely. But caring for the victim should come first, and trying to make sure this doesn't happen again. That applies to our current situation, right? You propose to abandon those test subjects. Jason, I really, really hate Vision and people like them. They robbed me of my life and paid nothing for their crime. And every time they get away, they're encouraged to try worse. Someone must administer the punishment that is overdue. Make them pay, make them bleed. Make them afraid, so afraid that they have to look sideways and behind before they do anything. I will not back down. I'm avenging myself as well as all their victims. Jason, for the last time. Will you stand by me against Nin? Yeah, you're going the vigilante route, but... And I agree, like, that can be needed sometime. To touch the untouchable, sometimes you have to do things like this, but I don't think the way you're currently thinking of it right now is the correct way, and I don't think you're properly prepared either. One of my favorite games of all time has this particular thing about how do you touch the untouchable when they're like, you can't, they can do horrible things and just get away. What do you do about that? And like, I get where you're coming from, but I don't think this situation is going to work out. And it would be a terrible, terrible waste for you just to jump in and basically die and have all of this fall apart. It is rough though, because it's, you know, it's a hindsight is 20/20 problem. Like, could Lawrence possibly succeed? I was gonna say maybe, but honestly, like, these odds are ridiculous. Like, it's absurd. It is interesting, because this whole thing being set up, like I said, is like basically the direct opposite of how I would feel in a different game, but... I just think, I don't think given the current circumstances anything is going to come of it, Lawrence. Like, with what we have, I don't feel like we could do any reasonable damage to them. And then they'll just send like a hitman to kill us in our sleep, and then what have we accomplished? I'm sorry, no. I think it's a little naive. I thought so. You won't change your mind so easily. You didn't even agree with me on what justice is. Okay, I'm tired of this. See that I can't convince you. Like, to me, justice, Lawrence, is more so caring for the victims than it is, you know, getting the due punishment for the people that did the wrong. Like, do they still deserve that punishment? Yes, but like, caring for the people that have been hurt, you can't just leave someone bleeding out on the ground and just chase after the person that shot them. Like... you know... Am I wrong? I've been wrong all this time? Everyone was siding with Nin except for me. I don't understand. I believe I'm enforcing justice, but none of you agree. Nin and 23 insist I'm acting out of revenge. Is that so? Am I really blinded by revenge? There's just a get some rest, Lawrence. You do prioritize revenge over saving lives. Ask yourself, by your own definition, you're enforcing justice. It is rough, because Lawrence is just so, like, gung-ho about all this stuff. I do think Lawrence prioritizes revenge over saving lives. My priority is to make bad people pay. Really? Ask yourself. Even if I were driven by revenge, is that really so wrong? Don't ask me, ask those people who you think we should sacrifice. It's wrong, there's no right or wrong, you choose the path. I mean, honestly, it does kind of depend on the outcome, yes. But, like, don't ask me. Ask those people who you think we should sacrifice for the sake of revenge. I don't think they... I want to do good, to make this world a better place. I see many, many bad things happening every day, even at this moment. People pretend these things don't exist until they become one of the victims. I want to change this. What happened to me, I won't allow it to happen again to anyone. I see an issue, I solve an issue, one step at a time. I must address it at the root, taking out the people who started it. Or so I believe. I mean, sometimes... I feel like the ideal scenario here would just be to possibly help people know that these things are happening and spread awareness around it. If we can create a systemic movement, like a big, huge movement to stop these things, I think that would be more useful than trying to be Batman. So you want to avoid tragedies from the source? Yes. Can you do it? By disclosing everything we have. I can, but Vision might kill all test subjects to cover it up. Do you want them to do that? What if the test subjects want it? What do you mean? Maybe they want someone to avenge them, even if they die in the process. I was in exactly the same situation once and I would want that. I know how they feel, they'd want that. They'd pay any price for revenge, fulfilling their own wish as justice. Lawrence, not everybody's the same. Some of these people probably don't want it, but some of these people probably just want to return to a regular life. Why are you looking at me like that? Am I wrong? Revenge and justice are the same thing now, huh? What? I don't mean... So you tried really hard to justify your revenge. Phew. I think I'm seeing everything clearly now, Jason. Maybe I didn't really care that much about justice. It's an excuse to convince myself to justify my impulse. It takes a ton of guts to face one's darker side. You're a very, very brave man. Absolutely. Thank you. Can you use more nice words like that? Yeah. Everyone's been calling me childish or immature these past few days. Now I see. We should negotiate with Vision for the safety of their test subjects, then punish them for what they did, maybe at a later time. Actually, this negotiation alone should teach them a good lesson. Knowing we have their darkest secrets, they'd be more cautious. They'll at least think twice before trying anything illegal again. Exactly the same conclusion as Cetus. He's pretty smart. Exactly. However, I was selfish, alright, and I put my revenge above everything else. That much I admit. But I'm not giving it up. I just can't give up this hate, and this urge to fuck consequences and make Vision pay. The idea of revenge has taken root. What can I do about it? He's doubting himself. It's totally alright to harbor an idea. Taking action would be something very different. Go do it. Have your revenge. I don't think you should do that. I think, like, that would be such a... Think about it this way, like, the way I think about with this sort of stuff, what would be the best payoff for you, Lawrence? Would it be killing the one of the people that did a bad thing and potentially like making Vision stumble, or just like totally systematically eradicating them and destroying every single thing that they stand for? Which would be more, you know, like, which would feel better? To me, it's the latter. Like, just totally destroying everything they have would be so much better. It feels awful, keeping the stark urge inside. It's part of walking the right path. Right. One of those inconvenient vacs, huh? Nen never has to worry about this. She somehow keeps everything under control. I mean, that's on the surface level, but she can break down just as easily as we can, Lawrence. She's human. You don't know that. Maybe she's as torn as you are. Really? Surely didn't show any sign of it. I think I know what to do. Thank you, Jason. Glad we had this talk. I could use this talk too. Glad we helped each other. Not 100% certain about everything yet, but there's a clear direction. Not so lost. Probably good news. Ah! It's late, don't let me keep you any longer. About you? I'll walk around for a while. I like Wampe streets at night. Help me think. Don't worry about me. This won't take long. Good night. Tell Miss Chang I'm sorry for keeping you this long. Have a heart-to-heart talk with Lawrence on the night of day 4. That was a good conversation. And an important one. Like, it's very easy to get caught up in the idea of doing vigilantism to solve the problems, but you do have to think about it in a not perfect world where it's like, are they going to get away? Am I actually going to be able to pull this off? Am I going to die for nothing? These are things you have to weigh in a not perfect world. So... Fran's asleep. Jay? Sorry, I was waiting for you, then fell asleep. Hey, I'm home. Hey. It will be over soon. Trust me, Jay. All will be well. Fran. Should go to bed too. Let me take a shower. Jason. Lawrence? Could you do me a favor? I was calling 23, but she didn't pick up. Could you check on her and Nin? I sense something's not right. Hopefully it's just me. That's it, thank you. He hung up. I could just take a shower, that would be weird. Let's go over here first. I did just walk in here. Why is it quiet? Who is it? Me? Can I help you? Nothing. Just checking on you guys. So you got nothing better to do? I'm in the middle of something now. Whatever you want. Can we leave it for tomorrow? Good night. Lawrence. Sure thing. Is it just me? Or is her voice kind of quivering? Okay, I was wondering for a second if Lawrence was trying to get me out of the room. Hello? Do you need help with something? No? No need. Have some rest. It's bedtime. Jason? You really don't need a hand. Really? I can handle this. Nin's injuries are not that bad. Just go home, please. It's a tough day waiting. I'm sorry to be so insistent. Enough is enough. Enough what? Enough harassment. Nin needs rest. Leave her be. She's growing impatient. I don't like this. Because Lawrence is the one that told me to come over here. Which potentially raises some red flags because it seems kind of out of nowhere. But 23 is getting very angry with me. God, some of these decisions are hard right now. You also said 23's saying she doesn't need help, but what if she does need help? What if she does need help? Can I go like... No, I can't go down there and see Lawrence. I don't like this. Can we go check on Fran before I do that? Okay, everything's fine here. 23. What's that? You can come in now, Jason. Oh my god. "23? What were you doing, 23? That didn't go well. What the hell is going on? You're shot by your own tranquilizer. Stop fighting. Sure, I'm not stupid. Thought I had a chance against you. Now I see why they say you're inhuman. You think this is fun? Sidu looks angry and bewildered at the same time. Was this to stop Sidu from trying to do this tomorrow? Two emotions that I'd never expect to see on her face. What the hell do you think you're doing? What is your problem? Hey, calm. Calm down. Never lose your cool, Nin. I never... Jason die. Yes. 23 tried to knock me out with tranquilizer. Tried and failed. Sleep with your eyes open or what? I knew you'd do something. You knew? I knew you're the snitch. That's what I was thinking about too. 23? No! She was the closest to Nin. And it kind of makes sense she could do this from a perspective of wanting to protect Nin to stop her from doing this. What? We really do have a snitch among us? When? I'm watching France's holographic recording. The moment that Chameleon appeared, I was visibly shaken. Yes. I was shocked to see him in this case, really. Vision is always half a step ahead of us. Since this operation started, I thought it was just bad luck. But after that moment, I started to suspect you. First, I did some tests. Ah, the ID card for Lawrence the other day. You changed the title mid-operation to see when the information was leaked. Huh, textbook trick. But you fell for it. Yep, I did. Because I never for once thought you'd suspect me. Ironic. Yeah. The bug discovered in Francis's wound was fabricated. There was no such thing. Vision could have done a lot worse if they did plant a bug. We could have been dead by now. Yeah, I only provided them with a tiny little bit of info. Enough to hinder your progress, but not to cause us physical danger. And you attempt to turn Lawrence against me. It was like a joke. I was counting on him to at least slow you down with his tantrums. 23, no! God, I could have just missed this if I went and took a shower. Now I know it didn't work at all. Because I trust you and Lawrence. Even if I know you're a snitch. Even if I have no idea why you did that. I fully trust that you won't harm me. Come on, don't talk like that. Makes me feel like a pathetic piece of shit, you know. Do you hate me, Nin? I won't be surprised if you do. 23. Why? Because I love you. This is not the time. I mean it, Nin. I have to stop you before it's too late. Something terrible at the end of this path that'll hurt you. Doing everything I can to delay that moment, this is what I thought. You were doing it to protect her. I just want to protect you, Nin. Are you delusional or what? Protect me by endangering my partners? They're your partners too. Sacrificing partners is a part of our job. What? No, Where's your ex-comms officer? Enjoying retirement on a tropical island? Huh? I didn't mean to... You're the one partner I can't afford to lose. I don't have the heart to see you hurt. Hurt? I'm not your average I don't mean physical injury. The way you do things, physical injury is inevitable. You won't get to die in your own bed and I have no problem with it. I'm worried about things that could mentally break you. Mentally break me? You almost did it. Think about it, what you did to Lawrence. You could have killed him. And he and Jason, they could handle the situation. Getting out was not a problem. Think I'm talking about the flop core? He trusted you. He trusted you more than anyone else, more than me. Do you know that? Do you have any idea how much you mean to him? He's relying on you, 23. I know what I did. I don't deserve him. She told you to do this. Yeah. Please, don't go. You know she has planned something terrible for you. She told you what Vision is really doing. She hinted, said it's something you'll hate with all your heart, but swallow it nonetheless. By then she will have found out your nature. Grandma's very confident. Oh, they're for adversity tests. Most likely, but I can't tell what exactly waits. Are you part of the test or a testee like I am? You think I could know? Maybe I'm both. I don't get it, 23. I outplay her tests every single time. Why are you so worried now? Why are you working so hard to stop me, even sabotaging the operation? Because you don't get the point of adversity tests. You believe you've seen the worst Grandma can do. No, you're wrong. She can escalate the game indefinitely. Eventually you'll lose. Only then will she be done with you. Of course I know that. I know it is an irrelevant fact. From now on, you'll feel it. I've been there, I've seen it. The moment that I had to make a decision against all my principles. Your moment's yet to come. So for now, I know better than you do. 23. One day she'll break you, change you. Most likely tomorrow. But I don't want to see you change. 23. Is this worth it? Nin, you know I made plenty of decisions that I'm ashamed of. Cut short lives that should not have been taken. And you know what it did to me. I became obsessed with principles, to make sure I won't go too far into the dark. Even that, I still can't sleep at night. I hate myself for what I am. Principles can't protect you. They're rigid, made to be broken. When they break, you take a heavier hit. Putting them in the center of your faith doesn't make you better off. If anything, you'll doubt yourself even more. What should I do then? How can I be as peaceful as the almighty superhuman Sidu with her fluid values? Laws and rules, at least they're definite. Isn't that the whole point? Something definite to fall back on to stop the doubt? Something that tells me it's not my fault so that I can sleep at night? I do what I do to get rid of this guilt, this self-hate. You don't think it's a thing because you've never even been there yet. All your talk about the right thing, about justice, about fluid values. Do you think it makes you invincible? Look, they all failed, these losers. Everyone eventually had to face their ugly selves. What makes you think you're any different? When your time comes, you'll... I'm not doing this for what's right. The point of enforcing justice is justice itself. All I want is to help more people. Meanwhile, you want inner peace that allows you to sleep at night. Neither of these can be achieved by holding on to a set of definitive standards. What we need is to keep understanding ourselves, understanding the world around us. Make decisions that are right for a specific where and when. That's how you make things right. Admittedly, there are a lot of gray areas in this process. I keep doubting myself all the time. Every now and then I adjust my concept of right as needed. Doubting myself is an integral part of life. Every bullet fired, every life taken. I doubt if it's right all the time, the stress is constant. But again, this doubt is what makes us feel assured. If I'm doubting myself, I can assess, adapt, and rectify. I'm not going to walk a clearly defined path. That would make me overly trust myself and justify what I've done wrong. Well said. What's the point? Talk as much as you want, I'm still what I am. What do you expect, that I admit I'm wrong, that I repent? I didn't mean... I know I'm on a wrong path, Nin. Always. Still, I am what I am. I know you don't need my protection. I know my motive is entirely selfish. Nonetheless, I want to see you well, see you happy. I hate to see the moment that they break you. You're too good to deserve that. You take all the pain and hold it inside. This is my choice. I know. You know what, Nin? Even as a beholder, the way how hard you try makes me feel bad. I feel like a soft, selfish bastard. No, you're not. Oh, but I am. Grandma does break you? She turns you into one of us, a nihilist? Then maybe I can tell myself that I'm not bad, I'm normal, just like at Nin. We're the same. We're equal. We're always equal, 23. Or perhaps I don't want to see you beaten. I'm afraid to see your wings snapped. If you give up, I'd have even less of a chance. Damn it. Life's tough, Nin. Yeah. So very tough. Whew. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. It is interesting that we have two characters, both Lawrence and 23, that kind of see Nin as this like unshakable, unbreakable person, but Nin doesn't think she's completely 23 doesn't think she's completely invincible. She thinks there is a point that Nin will break, and she thinks when Nin breaks it's going to be really, really bad, which is fair. And then 23 is basically using her connection to like laws and like following the rules and stuff as like a sort of safety blanket to make her feel better and deal with less self-doubt and probably self-loathing as well. No one will change me. When this is all over, I'll be the same person I am now. I promise. Can we hold it for one more day? Grandma says after tomorrow permanent changes will happen. But then you won't be able to undo it no matter how hard you try. And you can try as hard as you want, the result will be the same and you won't have to blame yourself. Circumvent the adversity test by not making a choice at all. Not making a choice is itself a choice. But, 23, there are people being tortured. Torture, huh? Sounds bad. Yeah. It is bad. It's terrible. The trank. I'm blacking out. Then, everything you need is ready. Same old place. The decryption system is customized for you. You don't need me for it. Thank you, 23. Then, what's the right thing to do if I could start over? How can I deal with this peace? No matter what we do, as long as we still care, there won't be peace? I see. But, damn. We can't just stop caring. Oh. Whew, this game has a lot of very depressing and relatable real-world things. Gosh. What a fantastic game, though. What are you here for? I thought 23 was acting weird. Sharp eyes. 23 won't be with us tomorrow. Tomorrow we do as planned? We must. Tranquilizer will knock her out for at least 24 hours. She wanted to use it on me and keep me out of the mission. Luckily you took precautions. Yeah. Grandma's watching me all the time, since the beginning of this operation. She led me to Vision. Our operation is part of her plan, although I wasn't expecting 23 to be part of it. A wretched woman. She's angry. The whole elaborate setup is one of her adversity tests. 23 wanted to keep me out of it so that I won't play Grandma's game. Aren't you her own agent? Why is she against you? Exactly because I'm her own agent, she must ensure complete dominance. Grandma won't stop until she gets what she wants. If she's honest to 23, tomorrow will be the final stage of the test. What will happen? 23 said permanent changes will happen after tomorrow. Something big must be happening with far-reaching consequences. Must find out what it is while we have time. This is part of Grandma's plan too. She knows I simply can't give up. As to what she prepared for me, there's no way to tell. I must stay alert and be ready to improvise. If we move fast enough tomorrow, we should be largely alright. Damn. Are you really ready for tomorrow? I'm alright. I'll be a lot better by the morning. You should have some rest too. We'll go over specific tactics in the morning. She's pale. And I'll make an excuse to explain 23's absence. Don't tell Lawrence. Don't tell him? Again? Lawrence will be devastated if he knew what 23 did. We can't risk it, especially now. He's already very confused, and you want to hide more? All the more reason to not confuse him any further. I feel like I'm going to bat for Lawrence here, and I'm going to hope that Lawrence can take it. He'll never be ready if you don't give him a chance. What do you think I should do? I mean, I did just have my talk with him. He's a little bit more on your side. And telling him after the fact, he'll just feel like he was left out again. Tell him everything. I can't. I can't break his heart. His life's hard enough. Now he's been betrayed by one of the few people he trusts. But you're right. I should tell him everything. Should have enough trust in him that he can process this information. Maybe I've been overprotective all this time. Exactly like what 23 did to me. It's genuinely sad. We needed a bit of time to prepare, but I'll tell him everything soon. Thank you, Jason. Yeah. Okay, so much for tonight. What do we do about 23? Leave her to me. She could use some rest. Tranquilizer will give her some dreamless sleep. She loves 23, I can tell. What's up? Am I a heartless person? No. I know I'm unreasonably rational. To me, everything is clear-cut, black and white, right and wrong. My judgments aren't always correct, but I make decisions fast and without remorse. I don't stop simply because something might hurt myself or my friends. I make no compromise. However, I don't think I'm particularly demanding moral-wise. If I think something is wrong, it's usually very wrong. I can't pretend otherwise. Knowing what needs to be done but not doing it is unimaginable. I can't find myself any excuse. I see something within my ability, I must do it. For that, people call me cold, heartless on my high horse. Knowing what I do, I bring harm to people who I care about. She's looking at 23. Struggle is proof enough that you're not heartless. She tensed up for a split second as if never thought of this. Maybe you're right. Thank you, Jason. Makes me feel much better. Wow, I'm just therapizing everyone today. I'm doing it. Sudden change of vibes. In fact, I have more in common with Chameleon. I believe we share essentially the same value system. Thing is, he wiped the line between right and wrong, making decisions a lot easier that way. I just can't do that. I don't see myself any better than him. We're on the same path, it's just that he's further down the road. Can't judge him, because I've never been where he is. Didn't 23 say something like that? Never had to make a life-changing decision like she did. I'll know tomorrow. Yeah. Moment of truth is close. Now it's really late. You should go home. Good night, Jason. Good night. Witness 23 professing her feelings for Sidu. Oh my god. Stuff is popping. Hey, Fran. It's been a rough night, Fran. It's been a rough night, Fran. Hey, Jason. Time for another talk. Hey. Hey. So, what do you think? About what? It's been one hell of a long day. Which part? Sidu. Mean what Chameleon and Helper said? Correct. She hiding something from us? I know you pursued the subject and she did give an answer. I thought you'd pursue it to the end. Right. I'd do the same if I were in the cockpit. Free agent of Grandma? It's top secret, provided she's not lying to us. In that case, she does have a good reason to keep us in the dark. Do you think she's lying? No. I believe her. Let's approach it from another angle. Suppose in the worst case scenario that Sidu is in fact working for one of Vision's competitors. She still has no reason to hurt us. The worst she could do is leave us behind when things start to get hectic. Based on what I've seen, she won't even do that. She's keeping secrets alright, but she's still essentially an altruist. Like the construction site, she didn't bolt like Helper did. Instead, she confronted Chameleon and his men all by herself for a bunch of random kids. Trouble imagining her working for a corporation for profit. What do you think? I don't think she's lying about her motive. Yeah, we have an agreement on that. Well, reality is what it is. Trust Sidu or not, she's our only chance of survival. We have to go with the flow, I guess. Never having a say in my own life. The way how Sidu fought Chameleon was quite an eye-opener. It's like a superhero movie. She's not bullshitting, I will be able to pull that off too with some training. Then I won't need protection from anybody. I can totally take care of myself and Fran, although... one-on-one combat is one thing, I need protection against the establishment. Owl. She said we will join Owl sooner than we expected. She made it sound like a bad thing, but I think it's exactly the opposite. She loathes Owl because she's a helpless idealist. She can't cope with all those dirty deals Owl makes with corporations under the counter. I, on the other hand, don't give a flying fuck. If Owl wants to maintain the status quo, fine by me. So here's my plan. Once the time comes, I'll take Sidu's referral, join Owl, and cut ties with her right after. Why cut ties? You don't have to be a genius to tell she's not popular with an owl. The kind that just can't stop being a troublemaker. I don't want to be seen as part of her gang. That'd be counterproductive, right? I don't know. I don't want to just work for Corpse. She helped you. I know. Just cutting ties, not turning against her. Let's call it keeping a respectful distance. Now you know my plan. What do you think? Sorry, I wouldn't agree with you. What do you think I should do then? Don't join Owl. Take Ivan Zhang's offer and get a new life. That would leave behind Fran. Stand your ground, I don't think would work out. Join Owl, but keep in touch with Sidu. Why? She's a powerful ally, she's an upright person. You're not going to care about her being an upright person. If I'm trying to appeal to your logic specifically, I would need to say she's a powerful ally. So you're a true fan of hers. I can tell from the conversation you have with Lawrence. Only one scenario where I go ahead and cut ties with Sidu. That she and what she stands for could protect me and Fran. You know as much as I do it's not going to happen. If I can't change them, I'll join them. Why? Change comes with conflict, sometimes casualties. Being a good servant, though, is much safer. That way I not only avoid confrontation, but also get a cut from whatever privilege they have. That's why I want to join Owl. For that, you'd rather be their dog? Survival first, talk about honor later. I respect Sidu for what she is. I'm no hero. All I want's my own life back. Call me whatever you like. I'm prostituting myself? No problem. That lecture Yuna Su gave us? I didn't get her point back then, now I get it. Like she said, she and I are the same kind of people. We're willing to sacrifice ourselves for the people we love, but we are not able to do anything for them. She saw that in Fran and I, so she offered me a precious piece of advice. Don't fight against the power that be, join them, outplay them. I'm enlightened. Outplay them? To what extent? What do you mean? In a wicked system, you're never safe. Why would they? I'm one of them. I defend the system that represents their interests. They're still going to be willing to step on you if it ever benefits them. Wicked system wouldn't care. You're just one pawn out of many. Maybe you're right, but it's based on one condition. That the system itself is rotten to the core. So much so that all rules are dysfunctional. Everyone is free to use any dirty trick. There's no such thing as check and balance, a dictatorship run by a selected few. That's not true. We live in civilized modern times. Jason, that is how it is. The water might be murky in places, but generally clear. We have the rule of law. After everything, you still think that? For everything, they see that I'm too weak. This is the root of the problem. As to the world, I believe this society is generally healthy. They almost killed Fran. These corporations are above the law. Chances are Jan wanted to kill Fran, not Vision. And if this gets exposed, Jan will answer to the law. I know that you think the system sinks, but everyone approaches it from a different angle. First and foremost, you and I, neither of us knows enough to tell if the system is actually that bad. Moreover, we have different priorities. You value the freedom of speech and opinions. The only thing I care about is my quiet way of life. You insist all crimes must be punished. I believe punishments are only due when the evidence is piled high enough. I see what you see, but I wouldn't call the system rotten beyond salvage yet. I'm not talking about raising the system and starting over, I'm trying to improve it. Still, you're making yourself an enemy of the power that be. From there comes waves of retaliation, the thing that I've been trying to avoid all along. Have you ever thought that you can't indefinitely grow into it? Enough about this subject. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're going to agree. We have very fundamental differences on our thoughts about this. This is not a debate. You made your point clear enough. I hold on to my faith in the current system, although I will consider what you said. Thank you for your valuable input. I appreciate you for having like a very... what a lot of people would see as like a very heated discussion and calmly talking about it with me. That's nice, you don't get that often these days. About your talk with Lawrence. Glad you cared so much about that boy. Thought you'd be against it. I don't blame you. What I said yesterday did sound like I loathed them all. But with Lawrence, you did a good thing. A great thing. You stopped him. I just showed him the way. Could say that. If not for you, he's gonna do something very stupid. I agree. He's too innocent for this world. Eventually he'll outgrow this face. Not counting on it. Yeah. Time's up. Yeah. There's one thing we forgot to cover. That'd be 23. It's exactly the case I need to back my argument. We can't keep ties with Cedu. What do you mean? Thanks to 23, now we know this entire operation is one giant adversity test designed for Cedu. Because Owl sees Cedu as one hell of a problem child. Not the entire Owl. Grandma's the only one that counts. Being too close to the problem child, we will be seen as a problem child too. And lots of troubles ensue. You're making an assumption. Very reasonable assumption. From here on, the risk is seriously ramping up. I'm counting on you. I trust you. Thanks, Jason. Do the right thing. And there's an owl. Alright. It just saved, so this is a long episode, but I think we're going to end it here. And this will make up for us not having one yesterday, so. A lot of philosophical talk in this one, so. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for some more.